Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a different kind of video. Now, you might be thinking, what in the world are you drawing? And that's a good question. I decided that a lot of parts of my art that I've realized I was lacking is proportion, perspective, and color. Those are the things I lack a lot when it comes to my art. I decided that I would try to figure out how perspective and proportion work. Color, I think, is going to come later. I have some. Let me just show it. I have some ways of learning it. I've been using watercolors. This is a little bit washed out. This is trying to be a sunset on a beach, which is kind of off. This was supposed to be clouds in the sky, as you can tell by the telephone poles, but it doesn't come across as such. So I'm still trying to learn this, but it's taking a little bit of a backseat at the moment. What I wanted to talk about with this is how quickly someone can improve their art style, or how quickly someone can draw or learn how to draw, as long as they put in the practice and they understand the concepts that are being taught. So I decided to draw certain art and perspective and shapes in different kind of proportions and perspectives, right? So you got cylinders that are bent weirdly. I have a person here that's supposed to be a top-down view. I have a really weird hand, but I was trying to draw it with a bunch of shapes like a cylinder, a cylinder with the ends being tapered off, uh, the shape of the palm, which is honestly very strange here. Bunch of rectangles and cubes and cylinders and stuff like that. Now, with one day of practice and just copying what other people do, in the sense that, you watch a video and you see, okay, how do they draw this technique? Okay, let me try to emulate that technique. And this technique I learned from a YouTube channel called Bites Biscuits or something like that. I forget the name of it at the moment, but hopefully there'll be something on the screen about it. This is just a first drawing of something I was trying to draw earlier. This has no perspective and I wasn't trying to do it, but you can kind of see some of the concepts I was going for, like the rubber banding and uh that kind of stuff with the arms and the finger. This isn't the drawing I'm going to show you. The one that I decided to actually put into practice were these, which I've never been able to do something like this before, especially when drawing hands. So the technique, I think that bites bites biscuits, I don't remember her name, but she was talking about a concept called foreshortening. So we start from here and with here for the arm, and this was the result of that practice. A hand being put down like this, or maybe being like this, and or another hand from this perspective. Obviously it doesn't look correct, it doesn't look as proper as it is, or as it should, but it gets the idea across, and it's infinitely better than when I drew this thing. This is supposed to be the same hand to some degree. So I decided, that was last night that I drew these. I decided without that video to try and draw, instead of my right hand, to draw it with my left hand instead. I didn't draw literally with my left hand, but I drew my reference the left hand. And this was the result of that as well. And as you can see, based off my reference, the start and the end, significant improvement from before. Obviously, some of it's a little bit off. Like I was trying to draw a fist and a thumbs up, and the perspective and maybe even the shape and proportion is a little bit wonky. But again, way better than when I first attempted to draw a hand from my memory. And like honestly, just trying to go like this and see, okay, how do I draw this hand? What shapes do I use? What proportion and perspective I use? If you want to draw, you can learn how to do it. You don't need to be formally trained. You don't need to go to art school. You don't need to do any of that stuff. Every single resource that you need is going to be free on YouTube or any other free platform that teaches this stuff. But mainly YouTube. That's how I learned how to draw. That's how most people should learn how to draw. I think the stopgap for a lot of people when it comes to quitting is that they don't see the improvements, or they feel like it's not perfect. Like this hand looks kind of weird, in my opinion. This one also looks kind of weird. The proportions off right here, and to me the pinky looks very off here. But who cares? Again, if you go back to your old drawings and see, such a huge improvement from something like this. And this was all done in a day because, and I'm not a genius or anything like that. I'm not some art protege. I'm not some art prodigy or anything like that. I just saw the concept, tried to understand it with the practice that I was doing with these shapes here, and then tried to implement what they were doing. I saw them drawing the perspective out. I'm like, okay, let me try copying that on my own. And this was the first attempt of drawing out that perspective. Again, infinitely better than what I was doing before. So yes, you can learn to draw. The most important thing is to not to get frustrated with your work, not to try and chase perfectionism with your work either. And just be patient and have fun with the drawings that you're doing. Obviously, it can be discouraging when you see a drawing that you don't like and you want it to be better. And if that's the case, study from your drawing what you're lacking, or go back to the video that you were doing, retry the drawing that you were trying to do, and improve on the things that you feel like you were lacking on. That's the best way to put it. Art is supposed to be fun, at least for me. It's definitely a really good hobby to have. And I hope that you're able to also improve yourself on your own journeys. Hopefully, I'll also be showing more and more of my improvement. I have a couple of drawings in the cookbook, let's say. I wanted to draw the Nameless King from Dark Souls, so that's being drawn right now. And I had a knight drawing, not like the night as in day and night, but a knight as in like the actual figure. I wanted to draw something like that, but based off of my memory, not based off of a reference. So hopefully that comes out soon, and then another video that I was working on will come out soon as well. So hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Or wait, I don't know how to say this outro, but like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Please subscribe if you want to see more, and see you later.